students, welcome to today's social studies class. In the previous class, we have learned about the reading and analyzing of the maps, and we have studied about the history of map. Do you remember? In the last 4 classes, I have covered all the history which were from where the Vedas time, how they have started making maps. The first map what we have observed was from Mahabharata, and we have continued the journey from the ancient period, Mughal period, the maps, how they were made in the entire world and how they were used. So one thing I would like to say, so when we were observing the map, when you compare with the present map, no map is perfect. So there are some of the other faults we can observe in the map. But do you know, at their time, they were said to be the perfect map of that time. So we can say, perfection doesn't stay the same. The definition for perfection changes time to time. So we can say no one is perfect in this world, but still we can say even the imperfection help a lot to identify the present map that we are using in this world. So how interesting the story of maps was you have learned. So in the last class I was discussing about the Babylonian maps and the Germans, how they were using the latitudes and longitudes, and we have covered the story up to there. So now a new definition of maps was introduced by the Europeans. Actually what happened? Up to here we have completed the story. The imperfection maps, the world, the identity of the world is different from the aspect of different countries. But now let us see how the Europeans have brought a new trend into the maps. So as you know, Europeans, they have identified, one of the European, as we know this, Columbus have identified a new island, and from there they started colonizing their power. What is colonizing actually? Colonizing is a kind of a deal between the motherland and the motherland traders. They are given the permission to go entire the world, that they will send all the money which they are gaining. Some percentage they will allot for their motherland. For example, here you can see, here is the European countries. Here you can see very clearly these are the European countries. And I said that in the last class, West Indies was first identified by Columbus, and they came to know that there are other 2 continents. So from now onwards, in the world map comes the 2 extra continents were drawn by the geographers to show North India and South India. So the world came to know until now that the world is not like a disc, it is round in shape. So this is how we came to know up to the 15th century. The people came to know that there are one more extra ocean is there, and 2 more continents are found in the world. So this is how the story extends from here, and the world came to know a new definition of the earth. So now then what happened? Europeans now, they want to acquire the power over the entire world. This was there from the beginning itself, but now they started a new culture called colonization. What is colonization? Colonization was done to exploration, means to extend their power and get the resources which are needed for the business, so that they can exploit the resources from other countries and make their own mother country the rich. This was the main concept of colonization. So when, for example, I will tell you how a colonization is done with Britain. For example, Britain is there, and Britain want to send a team from their country to colonize in America. For example, America and North America. So there will be a deal between Britain sending to America. So there will be a deal between them. What is that deal? For example, from Britain, from America, if they are sending the raw material like wood to Britain. So Britain, there will be one of the manufacturing company which will make the furniture there. For example, they make chairs. And the finished material chairs will be sent to America and it will be sold there. So this is how the deal. So now who is going to get the profit? The Britain will get the profit of the colonization. So like this, the colonization took place in many parts of the North America and Africa, Asia, and many parts of Africa, South America. So these all parts were colonized. Even India is also one of the parts in the colonization. As we have learned in the earlier classes, the east coast and the west coast both comes under the colonization. So here, so now the Britishers start colonizing to explorate their power in the entire world. So to exploit their power, to extend their power, they need army to maintain. And they also need the map of the different countries where they are colonizing. So now this kind of colonization brought a new trend of making the maps for their military and for acquiring their power. And there was one more need for there. So European powers colonized the entire continents for trade. Trade means what does they actually want? They want the raw material like cotton, spices, wood, and also the human beings to do who can work like labor in their factories and industry. So this is what actually they want to trade in the entire world in the form of colonization. So now they need the information about the soil, about the flora, about the fauna, about the mountains, about the vegetation which is found there, the kind of crop can be grown, what kind of quality of the land is there. This all information now they want from all the countries. So now they started one kind of survey. What do you mean by the word survey? Survey is the study of a particular place, either about a specialized topic like soil, water resources, and other things which are needed for the East India Company to acquire knowledge so that it can exploit the property from the country. They also mined the coal for their industries. They mined iron and gold was mined from India. So there are many such evidence which can show that British East India Company has made survey of India. So they organized one of the committee called Survey of India, and for this survey general was Mr. James Rennell. James Rennell, he started this survey in the year of 1767. That survey is been still continued in India. Now, Survey of India has completed 250 years of its survey. So here we can see it completed on the 2017 of this century. So you can observe how many years the survey. But now we are not using the survey so that other countries can exploit. We are using the survey to develop our country. This topic I will continue in this session, but now we will go with the next one. Here we can see in the survey process what they have done. They try to, Britishers have a saying. They say that if you want to rule a country, it is very important that you have to know the culture of the country. Know the culture of the country, the land. You have to know everything about the country if you want to rule. This was the law of British people. So what they done? With the name of survey, they started making committees of different groups. Many officers were appointed from the Britain, and they were appointed for this survey to get all the information about the Indian land, soil, flora, fauna, geographical and biological features of India. So then what happened? In this process, one of the achievements, these surveys also helped India to develop and also helped the Britishers to exploit the resources of India. So here you can observe in the 18th century, William Lambton began the most important geographical survey in the world. This was the first geographical survey which was started in India. They started from the China. As in 7th class you have studied that how the heights are measured. Heights are measured with the mean sea level. So you can see Chennai is very close to the sea. So Chennai was selected as the starting point to measure the Himalayas. In this process of mean sea level and measuring of the height of Himalaya, they made surveys in the entire world. At last they came to conclusion that Mount Everest was the highest peak in the world. So this was brought up. So you can say this was the one of the discovery of East India Company, that they have given the Mount Everest the highest peak in the world. So you can see even Mount Everest was named after George Everest. So we Indians dedicate our dedication towards even the person who has made the survey to know the Mount Everest is the highest peak. So his name was given after him as Mount Everest. Uses of a map in our times. But let us come to know how the maps are used at present by us. Nowadays we use maps You can observe nowadays we use maps for the development of our country. For example, an industry has to be established in an area. So the owner of the industry, he need to get all the information about the water resources, raw materials which he needed, whether they are available in the surrounding villages or not. So he need a village map which gives all the information for him about the land which is used for cultivation, the land which is not used for cultivation. He also get the information about the lakes or rivers flowing from there, and he also come to know where the offices are there, government offices are there, where the schools are there, from how much far distance he can establish the company. And also nowadays the maps are also used by the government survey officers to lay the roads, construct the hospitals, construct the government schools, universities, IIT buildings, etc. So nowadays we Indians are using this information of the survey maps to use for the development of our country. And you can know for construction of dams also they need the physical maps, and this information we can get from the thematic maps which are now used with the help of different surveys, and they are making all the physical and thematic maps made by Indians. So now also there is a lot of use of maps, but nowadays we have a lot of technology where we are using these maps. We can take the upper view of the particular place with the help of satellites, and it become very easy nowadays. So we'll come to know what are the three main maps which are useful for, as I said now, industrialist or for the geographist or for the engineers who are laying the roads. They need these maps. So how these maps are used by us at present, let us know. First, let us know how many types of maps are there. Already we have learned this types of maps in class 7 and class 6. But now I'll just repeat this for your recall. We have the reading thematic maps. What are thematic maps actually? The thematic maps are the maps show different kinds of information. What are the different kinds of information? Just now I told you about the flora, about the fauna, about the geographical features of a place like plains, plateaus, rivers, canals, etc. And also it gives the information about the economic activities of the particular area. So what are the economic activities taking place in that particular area? So that thematic map gives you the information about it. And here you can see what is the language spoken by the people. For example, if you take India languages map, it gives 22 languages are spoken in India, and it gives the complete information which language is spoken in which place. And here you can say literacy, how much percentage of literacy is found in India in a particular area, and the nature of the terrain. This already I explained you. Okay, now political map. What is a political map? Gives information about. It gives information about mandals, about all the mandals of a particular place, districts, states, countries, capitals, all information along with the territories, or we can say borders of that district or country. Along with the borders, it gives the information. So that there is what physical maps. We have already used in class 6 and 7 the physical maps. Now coming to the political maps. Now coming to the physical maps. Physical maps shows mountains, river, plateaus, plains, and the elevations of the land. How much height the land is. I told you the heights are measured and they can be shown on the map with the help of counter lines. This we have already learned in the class 7. How the heights are shown on the physical map with the help of different colors. Shades are used to show the variation between the heights of different places. So now we have covered up to here. So now you write all the question and answers which are present in your textbook. Here you can see one of the maps. And do you think so you can observe many question and answers are there in between the lessons. So you have to answer them, which are given in the green boxes. These all question and answers you have to read and answer. So as I explained you the lesson, it is very important that you should also read the lesson at your home so that you can better understand what I have explained here. So I hope you are reading the textbook and answering all the answers which are there in the block, in the box, shaded box. So in the next class we will do some activities. So be ready with the pen, pencil and textbook if it is there, or some of the maps like the India outline, India political map. You keep it with you. We are going to do one activity in the next class. See you in the next class. Thank you.